What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Dylan, and today we're going to be talking about some of the news going on in the paranormal right now, from the Conjuring House to Pennhurst Asylum. There's a lot going on, and I want to keep you guys up to date. I've been posting about it over on Facebook and TikTok, so if you guys haven't been following me over there, make sure you check out all the links down below so you guys can stay up to date with all of our travels, everything that's going on behind the scenes. And huge shout out to my channel members here on YouTube and all of my subscribers on all of the platforms, dude. You guys really help me continue making content, and I can't thank you guys enough. But let's start out with the Conjuring House. So a lot of people knew that it was supposed to go to auction on Halloween, which was kind of cute. You know, it was supposed to be a spooky Halloween auction. A lot of people expressed their interest in it. And all of a sudden, the auction was canceled. Now, this caused a lot of confusion. Some people thought that the Conjuring House was purchased. Some people thought that something happened and they just canceled the auction. But what happened is somebody purchased the loan from the bank, essentially. They bought what is called the note. And long story short, the bank has an incentive to not let the auction go through. Basically, this was explained to me via a TikTok comment, actually. I posted a TikTok about that as well. Go check it out. But long story short, the bank has an incentive to not let the auction go through, because let's say a house is going to auction for $100,000. It's being foreclosed on for $100K, right? If they send it to auction and then all of a sudden the auction produces $300,000, the bank gets the $100K they're owed, but then the $200K goes back to the original owner. I didn't know that. That's kind of an interesting fact to learn. But this, on top of the fact that the bank would have to run it, they would have to have staff there, they have to deal with all of the drama and anything that happens at the auction itself. It's just way too much of a hassle. So to my understanding, what has happened is somebody went to the bank, they said, hey, instead of doing the auction, what if I just give you whatever you're owed? So then you don't have to deal with the auction, you don't have to deal with everything that's going to happen after the fact. I just give you this money and I deal with the foreclosure. The bank said, sure, I'm done with it, have fun. So as of right now, to my knowledge, we're not sure who owns the note. It could be some private investor who just wanted real estate and wants the money from the foreclosure proceedings, or it could be someone who is actually interested in the Conjuring House, either owning the house or operating the house in some manner, and they endeavor to, I believe it's called a lieu of foreclosure. Basically, Jacqueline would have to sign over the Conjuring House to this person, and then the foreclosure would be done. You know, they're seizing the Conjuring House because the loan is still owed to whoever the loan owner is. It's very confusing. It's a lot of like legal jargon, but long story short, that's what's going on. Paranormal investigator Jason Hawes, he's very well known in the paranormal field. He was on Ghost Hunters, he was on Taps. He's been in the field for a while. He's over on YouTube now. He's been doing ghost hunting for, what, 2 decades now at least. He has started a GoFundMe. So initially he said he didn't want anything to do with the Conjuring House, but Andrea Perrin, who was there for the Warrens case, who wrote House of Darkness, House of Light, called upon Jason Hawes and basically said, I want you to own it. You know, I trust you. I think you would do well by the house. Therefore, I want you to try to put your hat in the ring, and I want you to buy the Conjuring House, so I know it's in good hands. So Jason started a GoFundMe. He currently has, I believe, 26% of his goal, last I knew, something like that. He's raised, I think it's $150,000. They've raised a lot of money in the short time that he's had the GoFundMe up. But to my understanding, his plan is that he will form an LLC to run the Conjuring House. And while he may be the owner, the operator, the manager of the LLC itself, he's supposed to be hiring people from the house's history who know how to operate it, who have been successful in the past, and they can run the day-to-day operations to make sure that the Conjuring House returns to a house that people can enjoy. Because over the past few years, there's been a lot of drama surrounding it, between the price just to get in the door, the price for overnights, the price increase for content creators. There's been a lot that has prevented mom and pop type teams, we'll call them, from investigating the Conjuring House, which is whichever way you slice it, right? Whichever way you slice it, the Conjuring House is an iconic spot in the paranormal world. So it's on a lot of people's bucket lists, and to not have the opportunity to go there because you're priced out of it is pretty disheartening. Before we started content creation through Haunted Nights and doing the public events and everything, we had a not-for-profit group here in upstate New York called the South Glens Falls Paranormal Society, and we did fundraisers. Since it was a not-for-profit, the fundraiser half of it would go towards the not-for-profit for batteries, for gas expenses, anything that goes into the event, and the other half would go to the site we were investigating, just for renovations and repairs and whatnot. We would do a huge group trip at the end of the year. If you worked, 10 or 15 events or 20 events, whatever the cutoff was per year, you would have an all expenses paid trip to a big location at the end of the year. And, we'd go to Waverly, we'd go to Madison Seminary, we'd go to Hillview Manor, something like that. And instead of all of us pitching in $100 or $200 to go to a place like Waverly, the group would cover it. And then we could go investigate and have a good time and take pictures and stuff for the page. But it was a good time, man. But being in that group, we remember being in that situation where we can't afford a location because it's $1,000 or $2,000 or something like that. So seeing so many people get upset that they couldn't investigate the Conjuring House because it was $900 or $1,200 if you had 10,000 followers on any platform, that's pretty disheartening. It sucks that people didn't have the opportunity to go. But according to what Jason Hawes has been saying, he's matching the donations up to $1 million. I believe that the goal he set is 1.5 million, and he said he's going to go dollar for dollar up to $1 million. And if they reach $600,000, there's a mystery donor who will put in the last 400K so they can reach that million mark, which is super cool. It's been very successful so far. I think Jason would be a pretty good owner. I'm not sure who else is throwing their hat in the ring. Everybody seems to be kind of just testing the waters to see what will happen, to see who the note owner is. But out of everybody in the world who could possibly own it, I think Jason would do well by the house. He works at Roto-Rooter. He already knows how to deal with pipes and everything. So if there is a lot of mold, if their pipes did burst at the Conjuring House due to the bills not being paid or whatever reasons there are out there, they have a lot of renovations to do. I believe that Jason Hawes would do well by the house in renovating it and making it affordable for more teams to visit it over the years. With that being said, like I said, I'm not really sure who wants to throw their hat in the ring. A lot of our friends have also expressed interest in possibly owning the house. I feel like it's a dream location to own for a lot of people in the paranormal world. So I don't know. Drop a comment down below. Who do you think should own the Conjuring House? Who would you guys like to see own the Conjuring House? Because I don't really know. Like I said, I think Jason would do well by it. I think a lot of people who have expressed interest in it would do well by it, but I guess we'll see where everything goes with it. In terms of Pennhurst Asylum, let's shift gears a little bit and start talking about that. There's a creator on TikTok called Gen Z Paranormal. I've had the chance to meet him a couple times at different conventions. Very nice kid. He is very passionate about historical preservation, just as I am, and he kind of made a post that really brought my attention to this. So if you could go show him some love regarding this, check out his post about it because he's much more knowledgeable on this specific topic than I am. But the skinny is Pennhurst Asylum is going up for sale, allegedly. It's still in the works. It hasn't happened yet, but the owner has expressed interest into selling Pennhurst to a private data company that will build a data center. In order to build this data center, it is said that they would have to demolish the entire site of Pennhurst. Pennhurst is a location I haven't had the chance to visit yet, which is very disheartening because it has so much history. It is very important in terms of, the huge push that happened, revealing how terrible institutionalization was at the time, how much neglect was happening. It was an NBC documentary that went in there. They just walked in the doors and they found people chained to their beds, soiling themselves. There was one nurse per 50 patients or 100 patients, something obscene, right? It's a very good documentary. I've only seen bits and pieces of it, but long story short, Pennhurst is a very, very historic location. It's said to be very haunted as well. And the current owners are saying they want to sell it. According to a Facebook post that Gen Z Paranormal featured in one of his TikToks, they're not saying it's not a question of if, it's a question of when it sells, because they want to redevelop the site. It is currently zoned for mixed use industrial use. So I'm not entirely sure what that means, but a lot of people are pushing back on this idea of using the site as a data center. One, because it would destroy Pennhurst. Two, a lot of people are concerned about the water supply. Data centers are said to take a large amount of water from the local community. Some people are expressing concerns that it may soil the town's water, or it may cause a shortage of water in the area. And it's in a very beautiful area. According to some of the locals there are saying it's in a very beautiful area. So redeveloping this entire site would be very detrimental to the local environment. So there's a lot of people pushing from different camps, paranormal enthusiasts, history enthusiasts, nature enthusiasts. A lot of people are coming together trying to save Pennhurst. There's currently a change.org petition going up. I'll put the change.org petition down in the description below, so go check that out along with all my other social medias. But I don't know, there's a lot going on in the paranormal world right now. Like I said, I've been posting about it on other social media platforms, but I did want to keep you guys up to date with what is going on. I think the Conjuring House situation is very interesting. I've been monitoring all these different Facebook pages over the past week or so. I haven't seen any huge news come out, but I will continue posting updates on all my other social medias regarding this. but I did want to feature this on my YouTube channel because, like I said, it's very interesting to me how everything is going on right now. Molly Stark Sanatorium in Ohio was just torn down. That is another huge historic site that has been lost. It's just interesting, like, how much is going on in the paranormal. Being such a small niche, there's always something going on between drama, between locations being lost, between locations being sold. It seems like there's always something going on. But if I missed anything, please let me know. If I got anything wrong, please let me know. If there's any confusion, let me know. But thank you guys for all the support. We just hit 3,600 subs on the personal channel. So thank you guys for liking, for subscribing, for sharing the channel with your friends, because it's going a long way. We just hit 123,000 subs on the main channel as well, which is insane. We're on track to hit at least 125,000 by the end of the year. So that's amazing. Thank you guys for all the support. Next week's video is going to be coming from the Saratoga County Homestead. You guys seem to really enjoy the walkthrough of Wilson Castle, so I plan on doing a video like that because I have a little project that I'm working on tomorrow, so I'll be up there anyway. And then the following video will be coming from a trip that I'm about to go on. If you don't follow me over on Twitch, as I've been saying all video, go check it out, but I live stream video games all the time. I recently just did my first ever 12-hour stream over there, and you guys are helping me go to LA. There's some stuff going on out in LA this next week. Going to have the chance to meet up with some of our friends that we haven't had the chance to see in 6 months or more. And we always get to see them in just a work environment. So we're going to have the chance this week to see them outside of a work environment. And I'm also going to LA alone. I think this is my biggest ever solo trip. You know, going to a concert halfway across New York is one thing, but packing up a bag, flying to LA, and living in LA for 6 days, almost a week, is a whole different story. I'm super nervous for it. I'm also super excited, but it's all possible just because of your guys' support. All the likes, the comments, the shares, the subscriptions on all the other platforms, the channel memberships over here, subscribing on YouTube, all that helps out more than you could possibly know. So thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. I'll keep you guys updated on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok, all that good stuff. But I'm going to stop flapping my gums. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.